smiling eyes happen right here. If I come here and I make a volume right under the eye, so I'm going to pull the clay here. I'm not really pushing the eye up much, but it's this little volume here that will create some of the smile. And if on top I add a little bit of crow's feet, which nobody wants, but it happens, you're going to have a little bit of smile in the eyes without having the smiling mouth. You can also have a contraction of the zygomatic, just a little bit, to create some volume right here, and this volume is always has to be always level with the tip of the nose. If you put if the volume, like, as a sculptor, if I put the volume too low or too high, it doesn't work. And that's why I'm saying that expressions are so difficult, is because you can also manipulate it in the wrong way. You can change things. So here will be, a little bit of a smirk. A smirk is just one side. I'm doing both sides. But here you're going to have just a little bit of a smile. But you couldn't have, for example, smiling mouth without the smiling eyes. That wouldn't work. It would make a fake smile. So the eyes will always be the priority. So you'll have that. Every time you smile, your mouth, your lips are getting thinner. So I don't know how you guys do it, but it seems that it would be difficult to do when you put fillers, if you put too much, to get this impression of the mouth getting thinner. Interestingly enough, the mentalis muscle is the muscle for distress. So if I come here and I roughen the chin, I can make just like this. I'm going to here. If I roughen the chin a little bit, this smile becomes a cry by just creating this little roughening of the chin. If on top of it, I lift this and I lower, then all of a sudden, even with the rest of the face looking like a smile, I will have sadness, distress, because of this. And now, if you're talking about a politician that is in trouble with what he's saying, you're going to have the conflict of the corrugators pulling that way, and the frontal is pulling other way. I don't exactly know what's happening, but you're going to have a little shoe horse shape here when you have a conflicting. It doesn't really look pretty good on a pretty girl, but when you see this little inverted volume on the forehead, you know that there's conflict. The person is in conflict with what they're saying or what they're trying to project. So all of this can be, when I do expression, I manipulate the clay a lot. I push this down for anger. I try to see what, if I do this, and on top of it, I lower the side of the corners of the mouth, like this. That's one state of mind you don't want to be too often, because if you are angry all the time, what's going to happen is this little fold is going to get more and more pronounced, and actually this is going to get more pronounced too. If you're an angry person, that will happen, and so will this, like we were talking about before. So expression is your identity. Your face is your identity, but expression is who you are, is your soul. So you have to really pay attention to people's expression, and you have to learn how to read them. And there's a couple of books from Paul Ekman on facial expression, how to read them and how to understand them. That is really worth your time if you want to understand the mechanic of the anatomy and the mechanic and the meanings of expression. So I'm a little bit short on time. I'm still good. when I have my students, and especially when I work with plastic surgeons on understanding expression, I make them do extreme expression. I will go and have them make a real smiling mouth to understand all the process that is involved in smiling. I will make them push the corners, make sure they thin the lips and like the philtrum doesn't show as much when you smile. Basically, I'm trying to get them to give me genuine expression so they can understand all the movement. There's another thing that happens that may not concern you as much is that but for expression, body language is very important. If you're angry, usually your head goes down. You know, you put your forehead down when you're angry. When you're surprised, you go back, you know, and you look down. When you're surprised, it's an extreme expression, but your eyes get much bigger here, and then you're going to create the wrinkles here. So the eye goes much bigger when you're surprised, and the mouth open too. It's a bit of a shame to do that, but so surprise can be happy, can be sad. So in that case, it will go down. There is an expression that's kind of interesting to do, is yawning. You know what the difference is between a baby yawning and a baby screaming besides the noise? The position of the tongue. That's the only thing that's different between yawning and screaming for a baby. When they yawn, the tongue is backward. When they yawn, and then when they scream, it's forward. And so on. There are a lot of expressions that are very interesting to study because we are not used to looking at the face very carefully. Expressions are very short-lived, so you don't really. I can't ask a model to fake an expression. If I say, okay, smile, they will use a third of the muscles they would do if they were not, if they were amused or if they were happy. So I cannot get the right reading. So oftentimes when I work with models and I want a specific expression, either I make them laugh or I piss them off. Like if I want them to be angry, I'll say something nasty. And for a little second, they will actually give me the face. They call micro expression. They're really difficult to read, but we all use them 10,000 times a day. You know, when you say hi to somebody, your eyebrow goes up for a fraction of a second. If you force yourself not to have your eyebrows go up when you say hi, the person in front of you will be uneasy. They will read that something is off. You don't mean it. So they are handicapped to fussing with the face if you don't really understand, what you're losing when you prevent the muscle from working the way they should. So it's just a question of learning how to read your patients, and I think everybody would have an advantage, I believe, if you were able to understand expressions better. Actually, I'm convinced that politicians would be a great client base for you guys. Fill them up, put some Botox in there, and they won't really be able to be read as easily as they can be if you're trained a little bit to read expression. So take care of your patients. Don't do it too much.
Thank you very much, Philippe.
You're very welcome.